And that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I felt like 2025, I was back there trying to get my thoughts together, and I'm like, I just feel like, I mean, I do smoke a lot of weed, so there is that, but I mean, like, my brain was just, I was just like, I can't remember shit. I've been doing this material for a while, I can't think of any, like, this past year was so crazy. I mean, mainly, you know, I just stayed at home with my 3 sisters, and I wrote my little plays, and my sister Amy painted, and my mom wrote to my dad, and wait a minute, I think this is actually the plot of Little Women. I'm sorry. Fuck you guys. Last year was so crazy, I thought I was in a Louisa May Alcott novel, you guys. Bookstore humor! No, actually, I do a podcast called Reads and Weeds, and we smoke weed and read books. Yeah. So if there's one you want to read, you come and you like smoking weed, you don't have to, but you can, you know. And some of my friends have quit smoking weed in the last couple of years, and they're like, doesn't it make you paranoid? Aren't you anxious all the time as much weed as you smoke? I don't think so. Bunch of friends of mine were sitting around the yard the other day around the bonfire, just passing a joint. And this guy comes up and says, hey, does anybody know where an axe is? And I said, yeah, there's one by that shed. And then he walked away, and I said, hey, who was that guy? No one knew. Not a one. Like, take that axe and go build yourself a good life, my brother. Have a good life. What else? Oh, last year I went to Little Caesars for the first time. Have y'all been to Little Caesars Arena? Yes? So it was a lot, of course, for you. But for me, I'm kind of a stay-at-home, cup of tea, journal type of gal. And I knew it was going to be a lot, you know? I knew it was going to be a lot. So I smoked a bunch of weed on the way there, and probably a little too much, and then suddenly I'm following like 1,000 people in red hats into a large, important-looking building. I'm like, oh no! What have I gotten myself into? And then I get in there, and like, beer's $14, and there's a lady in the bathroom directing traffic, and there's fog shooting out of the ceiling, and our seats are so high, it's like Quidditch seating. We're in the sky. I think I'm gonna fall over. And there's t-shirt cannons, boom, boom, boom. Everybody's screaming, lights are flashing. And then the host comes on and she says, hey, Hockey Town, how you doing? And I'm like, facing all my fears at the same time. It was a lot. And then they started kiss camming. It was like, woo, they're kissing, hey, woo, they're kissing, hey. And then it landed on a little family that was kind of cute. Like, the dad had a little girl on his shoulders, a little toddler. And then there's maybe like a 7 or 8-year-old boy who's got his shirt off. And everybody just laughed like crazy. And then when they cut away, everybody said, boo. So they went back straight to the little shirtless boy. And everybody said, yay. And I was like, I don't know if I like this. And then I was like, okay, maybe it's over, you know. And then they go, and then other people in the crowd started going, my son's shirtless, look over here. Oh my God. So you know that there was a director going like, everybody scan your sections for shirtless boys. I really wanted it to stop. But this is what I appreciate, because I'm not from here, and you know, getting used to Michigan sports, it's like, at least everything is 2 syllables, so it's easy to cheer. You can be like, you know, let's go Tigers. You know what to do, right? And you, let's go Red Wings, right? You know what to do. Shirtless Miners. What? Why? Why did it go on so long? Okay, last thing. I was there. I was with this guy, just waiting in line for something, trying to make conversation, and he says, he got a hot dog, and I said, how's a hot dog? I'm just making conversation. He says, nothing to write home about. Yeah, I get that. It's a hot dog, okay? Okay. But I was wondering, like, what would that look like? You know? It would be something like this. Dearest Penelope, pains me to think we haven't spoken since the last frost. Hope you managing your spirits in light of recent atrocities. Also, I had to put bygones aside and write to you speedily as I have just enjoyed the most delish fucking hot dog I've ever eaten. Sweet sister, it reminded me of the flesh of our dear horse Bessie that we had to eat during the famine. Equal parts sad and satisfying. Anyway, your dear brother. Thanks so much.